trillion-dollar AI companies are becoming big, really big.
So I'm paying homage the best way I know how, imitation.
They're becoming so big that if one of them fails, they could push the United States economy into a deadly downward spiral. Nvidia accounts for 34% of all the S&P 500 gains this year alone. Apple, Amazon, Google, Meta, Microsoft, Nvidia, and Tesla, all big AI players, account for over 35% of the entire S&P market cap, even though they only make up 1.6% of the stock index. This concentration of wealth is unprecedented. In fact, it's the highest concentration of corporate market cap in the S&P's 67-year-old history. But what does all this consolidation of AI power really mean? And what will happen to the global economy if one of these massive artificial intelligence corporations fails? Well, by the end of this video, you'll know the answer to all those questions. Plus, you'll find out why violent AI chip wars are a real possibility and how AI chip factories could be attacked. Nvidia is the major chip producer in the world, and they have an astronomical $3 trillion market cap. Its market cap is so huge that it could build the Burj Khalifa, the world's tallest building, 300 times over. But the cliche, the bigger they are, the harder they fall, might hold true for Nvidia as well. If you look back in time, companies that grow as fast as Nvidia usually fall just as fast as they rose. Giant corporations like Tesla and Cisco have met this exact fate. They skyrocketed in value, only to fall 75 and 85% in a couple of years after peaking. Competition, lower margins, and revenue declines accounted for their falls. And with Nvidia's crazy level of margins hovering in the mid 70% range, they too will be susceptible to increased competition and consequently lower margins, ultimately driving down their stock price in the years to come. But even if Nvidia maintains its insane margins and they continue to dominate the market, they do have one huge Achilles heel that could kill their historic rise and bring them back to earth. And it might even threaten the company as a whole. Their Achilles heel is their supplier. Nvidia's main manufacturer is TSMC, or Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company. Most of their factories are located in Taiwan, with some others spread around the world. There's even plans to build a chip plant in Arizona. But right now, at least, the majority of Nvidia's chips are made in Taiwan. And this is a big issue because if anything happens with these facilities, Nvidia's very existence could come under threat. This isn't just fear-mongering either. There's lots of tension between China and Taiwan, and it's existed for a long time. To show you how serious this is, the director of the CIA, Bill Burns, has been quoted as saying, President Xi of China has instructed the PLA, the Chinese military leadership, to be ready by 2027 to invade Taiwan. But why do these tensions between China and Taiwan exist in the first place? Well, in 1949, there was a civil war in China, and out of that conflict, a policy called One China emerged. It asserts that China is the sole legal government over Taiwan, even though Taiwan operates as a separate entity with its own military, government, and constitution. The One China policy is still in effect to this day. And while most countries, including the United States, acknowledge it, in the real world, they treat Taiwan like an independent state, just like any other country in the world. So you might be wondering why the USA, for example, even acknowledges the One China policy at all when they pretty much ignore it in practice. The US and other countries do this to placate China and its leaders. These countries want good economic relations with China because it's vital for their own economies. Without China's constant supply of goods, many of their economies could fail. The bottom line is that many countries throughout the world need China for their own economic well-being. So as you can see, China's claim that Taiwan is part of China has caused a lot of tension in the region and probably some sleepless nights for Nvidia's CEO Jensen Huang. But this One China problem isn't Nvidia's only worry. Over the last couple of years, the United States has limited China's access to US-produced AI chips. There's certain chips that Nvidia is not allowed to sell to China, even if they wanted to, for national security reasons. And because of this, the Chinese Communist Party isn't too happy. They know that whoever controls AI chips controls the future world. And right now, that's not China. It's the United States. The US, for the time being, has control of most of the AI chips throughout the world, and it looks like it will continue in the years to come. That's unless Xi and China take some drastic measures that involve war. It's likely that top Chinese officials look at Taiwan and see a gold mine that's rightfully theirs. They see Taiwan as an AI chip hotbed, ripe for the taking, a region, if conquered by them, would make China the leader in the AI arms race and chips race overnight. For these reasons, it's possible, and remember, this is all speculation, China could decide to invade Taiwan, overtake TSMC's AI chip plants, and become the new world AI king. So if war does break out, Nvidia's stock price will likely take a huge hit. And it won't just be Nvidia's stock that will be affected. Most of the Magnificent Seven stocks, ones that are heavily invested in AI, will crash, sending the global economy into haywire. Remember, Nvidia accounted for 34% of the S&P's growth in this year alone. So imagine if Nvidia, along with companies like Microsoft and Meta, fall dramatically in market cap value in a short period of time. That panic would reverberate throughout the Dow Jones and NASDAQ in a domino effect. It would be akin to the 2007-2008 financial crisis or even the Great Depression. The concerning thing about this hypothetical invasion is that it's not just something China might attempt. Any U.S. enemy, such as North Korea or even rogue terrorists, could try to destroy Nvidia's manufacturing plants in Taiwan via terrorist attacks. Doing so would have similar consequences on the United States economy. So while the U.S. spends close to $1 trillion on its military every single year, it might want to consider spending billions of dollars fortifying Nvidia's Taiwan chip manufacturing plants. If it doesn't, and those plants are targeted, every single person in the United States and the world will be affected. Retirement savings could drop dramatically in a blink of an eye. We could see one of the greatest economic falls in history if that plays out. Let's hope it doesn't. And again, this is all just hypothetical thinking, so please don't expect this to happen. It's just one scenario to think about and maybe hedge against financially. No one wants to see this become a reality. Instead, everyone would much rather see Nvidia stock headed to $200 and beyond. That's it for tonight. If you want to learn more about interesting AI perspectives, check out my other vid, AI Beauty Pageants, Innocent or Insidious. And if you found this video interesting, please subscribe to this YouTube channel and my free AI email newsletter at fry-ai.com/subscribe. Have a great night. This is Ryan signing out. Take care.